So our message this week, we've been doing this one thing, one heart and one life and one spirit, or whatever they have all been. This week it is one way, the law of love. One way, the law of love. You know, one of our beliefs in science of mind is that there is no one particular way to God. There is no one formula or one belief system that leads us to the divine. But in fact, there are many paths that all lead to the same destination. And I believe this to be true. After all, if God is an infinite, all-encompassing being, as we believe it is, expressing as an infinite variety of forms, then there must be many, many facets of God that we have no understanding of. And there must be many things, a multitude of things in this life that we can only conjecture and imagine. And because of this, I believe that the paths to God are many and varied. Now, having said that, I also believe that ultimately, in the end, there is only one way to God. Only one way to fully experience the depth and breadth of God in our life. And all other paths eventually lead to this path, and that is the path of love. One way, the path of love. And yeah, I know we hear about the merits of love all the time. And, you know, love is the answer. Or love is all you need, the Beatles sang. Love is all around. Money can't buy me love. Love, 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 love. And for the most part, we live in a society that seeks love and wants love, but poo-poos love at every corner, at every turn. And yes, I said poo-poos. Men especially don't speak about love. Men speak about achievement, about conquering and victory, about the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. To talk about love is to talk in things that are airy-fairy, you know, and it's got no meat to it. Give me something I can grasp onto, something that's tangible so that I know what the score is. Right? How am I supposed to play the game if I can't keep score? But you see, I believe that part of the problem is that love is one of the most misunderstood words in our English language. And it's no wonder that it is. We use the word in all manner of ways. I love my wife. I also love to watch NASCAR. I love drives in the mountains. I love Hawaii. As most of you probably know, I love Dr. Pepper. And I know my wife loves me. I have no doubt about that. But I also know she loves watching Survivor. She loves a cozy fireplace in the wintertime. And she loves puppy breath. We both used to love to ski, but we don't anymore. As a kid, I really couldn't stand tomatoes, but now I love them. So, love, love, love. What does it all mean? How can all that compare to one another? See, our language presents a real barrier to understanding love and the many different facets that love represents. In the Bible, which was written mostly in Greek, there are really 3 different words with 3 subtly different meanings, all translated to the English word love. So the first of those Greek words is philia, which was used to describe friendship or family love, like a brother and sister, or brotherly love amongst all people in a community. It includes loyalty to friends, family, and community. It might also describe the enjoyment of an activity of some type or a food or something like that. So that's the number one thing, and that's translated as love. But the next word then, the next is the Greek word eros. Eros, which is passionate love, sensual love, or romantic love. The passionate, sensual love that may start out as longing and desire, but over time becomes an appreciation of the beauty within a person, or even becomes appreciation of beauty itself. Plato said, Eros helps the soul recall knowledge of beauty and contributes to an understanding of spiritual truth. Lovers and philosophers are all inspired to seek truth by Eros, that passionate, sensual, romantic love. And finally, the Greek word agape. Agape represents that divine, unconditional, self-sacrificing, active, volitional type of love. In biblical literature, its meaning and usage is illustrated by self-sacrificing, by giving to all, both friends and enemies. And it's not a love that requires the worth of someone else. It's not a love that desires to possess. On the contrary, it is a love that's given irrespective of merit. And it is a love that seeks only to give. Agape, then, is a form of love which is both unconditional and voluntary. It is a love by choice. Now, all three aspects of love, all three of these aspects of love are very important. All three of these aspects are critical components to our overall experience of love and life. Our life is so much richer when we have friends or family or a community to share it with and enjoy it with. Philia, love. And our life is so much fuller if we have something that we're passionate about, something that stimulates our senses, something that spurs us to sing and to dance and to skip, something that consumes us with desire. Eros love. But the aspect of love I want to talk about today and go into today is that of agape love. That love that is unconditional. That love that is all giving. That love that is by choice. So when we speak of one way, the law of love, that love is agape love. And that's the love that Jesus spoke of when he admonished his followers to love your neighbor as yourself. That was agape love. That's the love John in his first epistle wrote. He wrote, "Beloved, let us love one another. For love is from God. And everyone who loves is born of God and knows God. The one who does not love, agape, does not know God, for God is love." You see, this agape love, this unconditional, self-sacrificing, volitional love, is what God is. And because it is what God is, and because we are the very reflection of God, the incarnation of that perfect divine energy, then we too have that capacity for agape love within us. We can choose love. And in fact, according to John in this writing, the only way to know God, is through agape love. So, what is this love? What does it mean to me today? why do I care about it? Why should I choose love? And I think those are all good, valid questions. The simple answer, the very simple answer, comes from the Apostle Paul in 1 Corinthians, when he flatly states, love, agape, love never fails. Love never fails. I guess that should be reason and motivation enough to pursue love. By choosing love, I'm choosing an unfailing path. Well, I don't know about you, but that's a path I'm interested in following. But perhaps more compelling than being assured of a never-failing path is the fact that by choosing love, we are choosing to express our true inner nature. And in choosing to express our true nature, that true divine nature that we are, then our outward experiences will begin to reflect that nature. Now you're talking something I can grasp onto. By doing this, this happens. So when we choose love, we're rejecting fear. When we choose love, we are accepting our rightful place as magnificent expressions of spirit. When we choose love, we are choosing to see the world and all things in it as a unity, as a complete wholeness, as one. Marianne Williamson, in her book, A Return to Love, says, the love in one of us is the love in all of us. There's actually no place where God stops and you start, and no place where you stop and I start. Love is energy, an infinite continuum. Your mind extends into mine and into everyone else's. If you dig deep enough into your mind and deep enough into mine, the picture is the same. At the bottom of it all, what we are is love. And you see then, when we live with love as the law of our life and allow love to dictate our actions and our reactions to life and put love first in our thoughts and our deeds, then we'll find the results of this expression in our outward experience. What we'll find is joy as we've never known it. We'll recognize peace as we've only imagined it. We'll experience abundance beyond our dreams. We'll know health and wholeness and satisfaction and fulfillment that have been mere fantasy before. Love truly is the answer to all things. It's because love sees only God. Love sees only perfect wholeness, only goodness, only harmony in and through all things and in and through all people. And if that's all you see, what are you going to experience? And it is with this kind of love, agape love, love that has no conditions attached to it, love that sees everyone as equal, love that is made by choice, that we can love our neighbor as ourselves. Joel Goldsmith says of this, the love which is God is not something far off, nor is it anything that can come to us. It is already a part of our being, already established within us. And more than that, it is universal, everywhere, always, and impersonal. As this universal and impersonal love flows out from us, he says, we begin to love our neighbor. Because it is impossible to feel this love for God within us and not love our fellow man. Mr. Goldsmith then goes on to explain who our neighbor is. Anything of which we can become aware is our neighbor. Whether it appears as person, place, or thing. Every idea in consciousness is a neighbor. When we see God as the cause and our neighbor as that which is in and of God, then we are loving our neighbor. Whether that neighbor appears as a friend, a relative, an enemy, an animal, a flower, or a stone. Agape love is all-consuming. Ernest Holmes, the founder of religious science, says, love is the grandest healing and drawing power on earth. It is the very reason for our being. Love is the sole impulse for creation. So I'd like to read now from 1 Corinthians 13. This is the Apostle Paul's exposition on love. And I know I've read this before, but this is such a powerful commentary on the omnipotent force of love that I think it's really important for us to delve into it again and again. So then at the conclusion of this reading, I have a video to share called I Choose Love. So 1 Corinthians chapter 13, Paul speaking, if I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, in other words, I could be the greatest orator ever in the whole world and speak as an angel speaks, but I do not have love, I have become nothing but a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have the gift of prophecy and know all mysteries. Now, for me, knowing all mysteries, that's right up there like, wow, that would be awesome. If I have the gift of prophecy, can predict what's happening, if I can know all mysteries and have all knowledge, and if I have faith, all faith, so as to move mountains. Anybody want that? Anybody like that idea? Faith to move mountains? I can have all of those things, but if I do not have love, I am nothing. Love has a little bit of importance. And if I give all of my possessions to feed the poor, we talk about that a lot, helping out and feeding the poor. If I give everything I have to feed the poor, and if I deliver my body to be burned, in other words, if I sacrifice myself, but I do not have love, it profits me nothing. Love is patient. Love is kind. It's not jealous. Love does not brag. It's never arrogant. It does not act unbecomingly. Does not seek its own. It's a giving thing. It is not provoked. I get provoked every once in a while. I don't know if that's you. Love is not provoked. It does not take into account a wrong suffered. How many of those do we carry around with us? Love does not take into account a wrong suffered, does not rejoice in unrighteousness, but rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things, Love never fails. I don't know. To me, that's like, wow. What else? Love is the way. The law of love is the way. Agape love. Unconditional love. Love that is giving. Love that is made by our choice. Okay, I've got a video to share here with you. It's called I Choose Love. It's a really neat song that I really fell in love with the song. So enjoy this and then we'll move on.